What's up, friends? This is Manni, and let's look at the capabilities of Fulgur and Tonans before the nerf of the 9.7, 9.8 updates, where it's being rendered useless afterwards, with a ridiculous long reload from 5 or 6 to 12 seconds, I think, right? And much less damage output and so on. So I haven't really run it so much on the Eiffel yet, and I thought let's do it. Let's, before the update hits, see how the Eiffel performed before the update was or came, right? So here we go. There is an off. Sorry, that was an off young. Past tense is now required because that guy didn't make it. I killed something with the Kale battleship. Yeah, I was experimenting around with the Kale a little more, or I am recently, and sometimes I will just get kills, and because I sent the battleship somewhere and I didn't actually know. And oh, hold on, there's a by that there was a crisis. With 800 meters range, a crisis robot is not really safe from you, right? Except, wait, there's another one. Something else just hit me again with Reapers. Yeah, there's another crisis robot. It's a sniper map. Half the enemy team is running crisis robots on a sniper map. That's, I guess, what we can assume here. But, of course, with the added health that we warp in every time we fly, they can hit us as much as they want, because we take the hits, and then we once we touch the ground, we lose the HP we got as a bonus HP when activating the ability, right? So that 600,000, they can do that damage every time I press the ability button to fly, and I will actually not take any damage. Interesting for them is, though, they will still get the damage bonus onto their stats, but I haven't taken any real damage. Whoop. Whoa, look at that lucha. I'm also jumping away now at the end of my ability, because with 800 meters range, I don't have to be very close. Also, I wonder if, you know, these weapons like Fulgur Tonans, instead of simply nerfing them completely, what they could have done instead is, for example, make it so that at long range you will do less damage, right? So when you fire at 800 meters, you will do less damage, but when you fire at 600 meters, you'll do a little better, and if you fire at 400, 300 meters, you're actually doing the same that you did before. Therefore, the weapon would remain, well, at least able to defend itself in short range, but it wouldn't be this instant kill thing at long range anymore. But as we know, Pixonic is not very good at balancing things. They just make them broken when they release so they can sell them, and then later they get nerfed to the point where they're useless, so that you invest into something else. An actual will to balance things to the point of them being really useful, fitting well into the game and so on, it's not there. That wish, that desire isn't there. And so I can advise things, I can suggest things as much as I want. They get completely ignored. And yeah, so we just hit the guy there with his Lynx robot in his stealth with the Kale battleship. So despite being stealthed, he's gonna take all 3 hits. And I, by the way, just one-tapped a luchador. That guy was at 100% health. A second later, he was completely destroyed. That is Fulgur Tonans, ladies and gents, before the nerf. That is what was allowed to happen in the game for 4 or 5 months. Or I don't even know exactly how long, but that's what Pixonic felt like was okay to happen to the game for such an extended period of time. Now, this of course being one of the best maps that I could have ever played. Oh, another luchador. I'm seeing so many of them now. Yeah, unfortunately though, when your Eiffel flight ends, it's weird. You were shooting in that moment. Your firing pattern will end, and you actually stop your weapon in mid-firing, and it doesn't begin to recharge until you fire again with it. So you will have like a half recharged weapon waiting to be unloaded next time you activate the ability, and you get only half the firepower and then trigger a reload. It's a little weird. But look how I think I've been a major component in killing any of the 6 titans the enemy has. I don't think any titan of the enemy was not absolutely getting vaporized by my setup in this match. But this is what happens when you play this setup on Yamantau as a sniper map, with a sniper setup, right? This is exactly what's going to happen then. And I can just jump away and a whopping 700 meters distance to him when I was just really close to him because of the jump of the Eiffel. Somebody's trying to hit me with the Orion battleship for some good Titan damage. The more up-to-date Orion is actually the Kale battleship, because it follows you with multiple hits. altogether, I think it may deal a similar amount of damage if you were sitting on that Orion bubble all the time. But first off, you're not, and secondly, if the Kale follows you and deals incredible damage, right? So here's the Ohokochi, definitely Mark III. Clearly, this thing is almost not taking damage, but eventually it does go down, and that is the case now. Boom. Sweet. So one enemy only remaining, and I can kill him, of course, from here, from pretty much from inside my base, because that's the firepower that an 800-meter weapon, of course, has in War Robots. So 9 million damage, 18 kills, only cap 1 beacon, but with the dominance coming from this much firepower, you can win the game by simply killing all robots. You don't necessarily have to win by capturing, right? So that firepower at that range provides you with this option too. And now we're here on Carrier. I killed somebody with Kale again. And on Carrier, on top of that position here, you can really do a lot. I mean, this is a really interesting spot for as long as the Newton Titans aren't there. When the Newton Titans come, things change a little. It becomes a little difficult. I was just waiting for him to drop his stealth. Now I hit the Harpy with the Kale. Let's see if she dies from it. 3 shots coming at it. It seems like he may have gotten into his second ability at 50%. That's how he can survive. No, he's down to last stand. The last stand may have saved him, and he's down to 1 HP. I think that's what it was, right? Enemy Aether Titan on the battlefield pretty early on, but as you know, the Aether force field is basically non-existent anymore. A Titan that once was used, that isn't even an old Titan, has become utterly useless, actually, very quickly. What's the point of flying up and activating a defense system that basically doesn't protect you, but it exposes you to all firepower from all enemy cannons because you fly up? If you don't even get more firepower. I mean, this Titan does that too, but this thing actually warps in more health. So it doesn't rely on a defense system, it just gives you more health during that flight. And it activates more firepower, so there's a reason to fly up and use it. The Aether Titan used to have that reason, because the force field used to actually be a protective element, and now it is not, because its lifespan and its meta reign has happened. The cells have happened, and the thing gets nerfed, to the point where you don't want to play it anymore. War Robots, in a nutshell. But I think the Eiffel will change in a somewhat different way, because you will not make this defense system, aka more HP, useless. What instead they would be doing is reducing the amount of HP it gets from 550,000 to perhaps 250,000. Or it will be 400,000 or 350, and then nerf phase 2 comes in, and it will be 250 or 300,000. That's how Pixonic works. And then it will probably also get maybe a little bit of a longer cooldown for it or something like this, right? One thing I do want to note here is that even during the meta reign of this weapon, the Titan, its most up-to-date time, I still feel like that dash regenerates quite slowly. However, I think I know why they did that. If it was regenerating any faster, you could dash in with the ability and you could dash back out with the ability. They wanted you, and that is probably a good balancing idea, something that Pixonic has done a great job with. They wanted you to make a decision. Do you use that dash to get in closer with your launch of the ability, or do you use the dash to get out of it after your ability and dash back into safety, right? So you can't have both. You can't dash in and dash out at the end of your ability, because the cooldown of that dash is just that little bit too long to have it in both situations. But again, it's probably a good idea. It's just when I'm using it purely on the ground, I feel like that dash could be a little faster, just to move around a little. But overall, I feel like it's a good decision and it's the right one to make. Here, you see, I saw 2 enemy Newton Titans. What I did, I flew up and I took some distance to them. I just went out of their 800 meters lift choke range so that I can regenerate my ability and then come back in with additional fresh health. Also, this Ophion here is extremely annoying, so I have to take him out. I'm even getting some support after dropping him to low HP. But yeah, so against Newtons on long-range maps, you can fight them. When you get in, fire your shot, and you get back out before they lift you. If, however, they lift you, well, they're gonna be hovering in place, but at least while you're hovering in place, you're not losing your HP bonus, right? So that HP bonus, those 500-600k you get when you start up, you will keep them active, that maximum HP, for as long as you touch back to the ground. And if they lift you while you're trying to get back, then similar to the Ophion who kept his shield during the flight, the Eiffel Titan will keep its bonus HP going until it literally touches back to the ground. And so you're not losing that potential bonus HP for a while. See here, when we're in close range with these weapons, they don't really do all that well. Now imagine you have this same weapon have a reload of around 12 seconds now, and having much less damage done against robots. You're basically, well, useless with them in any shorter range scenario. And that is exactly what's going to happen with the 9.8 update. Again, just my warning here to you, if you were relying on these weapons, they will no longer be something you can rely on working as intended. So, we're back on Carrion now, this time under the ship actually, and we're still able to use all our weapons. Zang! Yeah, that was a good amount of damage, but he was phase shifting, so... And also I see 2 more Ophions coming in, and Ophions are really nasty. When you're in a Titan, especially like the Ophions before nerfs, right? These things fly around with their shields so long, short cooldown, lots of damage output, especially against your Titans, and you can never deal damage to them. So they're really, really a problem. And as such, yeah, they make it a little difficult. But if you see him early enough here, I can just dodge them a little bit. And then I see, I believe, a Newton Titan. So my next target has been acquired. Here we go, full firepower. He lifts me up immediately, but he only fires into my first hit. And then I even fly higher. I like dash out of his choke into the skies. Very interesting. And a Kale battleship got another kill. Sweet. Here comes... What is it? A Curie? A Bulwark? What is it? It's an Orochi. I couldn't quite see what it was. I saw it's something with 2 heavy weapons. Next target acquired. It is yet again a Newton, and they lose so much health instantly. They hit me also, but I'm able to restore that health. Or basically that's the health I got as a bonus, right? That full salvo is my bonus HP, so the first shot basically doesn't do damage to me. The second shot would, but in this case he was already destroyed. And that is how a Newton Titan can lose his Newton, by getting hit by the same weapons. And again, that I think is the issue. The weapons shouldn't be doing such damage at that range. That is what destroys things. And if they were simply having, like, what is it? Prisma, I think, does it, right? Prisma loses damage as they... No, it's reversed. Prisma loses damage as you get closer with it. And the opposite would be required here, where the further you get away with these weapons, the less damage they will do. Like Scourge, yeah, Scourge, Calamity, Spark, Cataclysm, Cyclone, like these weapons, where apparently Pixonic did a better job at balancing them, because that was their, I believe, from the start, that these weapons wouldn't do as much damage, and the range wasn't 800, it was 600 meters. So you see the power creep has it, how it changed what is acceptable as being overpowered. It's crazy. All right, so one last map here on Rome now. And I'm receiving a lot of focus. I mean, I'm literally getting shot any second by everything that has a range to do that. Battleships raining down on me and so on. It is a weird map, weird situation. Either they recognized my name or they just wanted to shoot the Titan. But typically, if you see a Titan and next to it you see a robot, what are you going to shoot? You're going to shoot the robot. You're not gonna shoot the Titan where you do a lot less damage against, especially when it's a Titan that constantly brings back its health in between. Where shooting it at it with a regular robot that doesn't even do so much damage is actually in vain. But they were all firing at me anyways, so, interesting, huh? I guess they recognize the name. So here's another Newton, and we're unloading everything we've got at him. He's almost dead, but almost is not dead enough. He can still choke me, and that is what's going to happen, but apparently from a different Newton. Yep, there's a second Newton now. I can start to fly now, activate bonus health, but with 2 Newtons firing at me at the same time, that bonus health is taken down really quickly. However, I think one of the Newtons died, and the other just used his ability, so I should be okay for a little while before I get choked again. Here comes a luchador. He, smart as he is, immediately activates his reflector. I want the Newton, so I'm focusing him. That was a well-placed focus. Then we're shooting the Kale battleship onto the luchador. The luchador has so much health, he doesn't normally die from a Kale battleship. In this case, he got hit by me and by another Titan and then by the Kale. That actually was enough damage to kill him. Then there is this Ohokochi here back. He's phase shifting. Okay, fine. And what's the other thing down there? I'm not even sure. Let's unload 1 full salvo. It's also an Ohokochi. Yep, looks like it. And there's another Titan far over in the distance. 800 meters, I can't retreat any further. I'm with the back against the wall behind me. But I think somebody just took out the Newton, so we're good for the moment. However, the enemy is clearly dominating this match and is controlling everything, all beacons. And there isn't much I can do. If I stand on this beacon to change that, I may be able to turn 1 beacon around for a little bit. No, I'm actually able to hold the 1 beacon we have, but that's all I'm able to do. And to do that, I have to expose myself again to every cannon on the battlefield. By the way, this over there is literally the 5th Newton now. It's literally the 5th Newton in the enemy team. It is so boring, guys. It is so boring. Everybody has it. Everybody plays it. Because if you didn't have it, you were doomed because you couldn't fight the other Newtons if you didn't have one yourself. And if this game could be a lot more fun if Pixonic really wanted it to be. But there's something else standing in the way. So thanks for watching. Catch you in the next one. Manni signing off. Bye-bye.